Is this on? All right. Hey guys, thanks so much for having us. It's an honor to be in the presence of Mr. Stu Clark himself. We're From Earth, a responsible natural oral care company. And I just wanted to start out by giving you a sense of the founding of the company. So our story begins with my co-founder, Priyanka, riding around on a bicycle in the rural villages of India selling cigarettes. She eventually worked her way up to brand manager at PepsiCo, where she launched Cheetos in India, and brought a number of consumer innovations to market as the innovation manager for PepsiCo in India as well. So between selling cigarettes and unhealthy snacks, Priyanka had a desire to have a more positive impact on people's lives. I myself was embedded in the rural villages of southwest Afghanistan, in a region that was responsible for growing the majority of the world's opium for heroin production. And while there, I was actually inspired by the Afghan poppy farmers, who truly embodied the notion of sustainability. So they scored and harvested their opium, and then they took the dry stalks and they stocked them in the corner of their mud huts, and they used them in their everyday lives. They used them to heat their homes, to boil water, and to cook their food. In fact, they even went so far as cutting off the tops with the seeds in them and using them as rattles for their children. Now, despite the fact that that's kind of disturbing, there was something inherently inspirational about the way that they embodied the notion of sustainability out of necessity. So after working together at McKinsey & Company, Priyanka and I thought about how we could create something that would have a positive impact on the world and enrich the lives of our customers. And I still remember the day our company was born. It was on a call across the Atlantic. Priyanka was launching mSurvey, a mobile data analytics startup in Nairobi, Kenya, and I had just moved to San Francisco. And the interesting thing about East Africa and South Asia is that folks have been using natural oral care solutions for hundreds of years there. One of which is the Salvadora persica tree. So the branches of the persica tree come out of the ground in bristle format, and they have naturally occurring fluoride. They're also certified by the World Health Organization as being at least as effective as brushing with toothbrush and toothpaste. So we found this really interesting. And me being in San Francisco, we saw the increasing popularity of natural products. And so the problem we decided to tackle is the $8 billion US oral care market. So the problem with the oral care market is there simply aren't sophisticated solutions for the natural conscious consumer. Existing products are unnatural. So just with the number of natural conscious consumers doubling over the past 5 years, it's kind of tough to imagine folks putting plastic in their mouths for 4 minutes a day, every day for their entire lives. And on top of that, we clean our teeth. Studies show that we clean our teeth today with harsh chemicals and plastics at the expense of our future gum health, and it erodes our enamel. Existing products are also wasteful. So in the US alone, more than 500 million toothbrushes enter landfills each year, and more than 1 billion toothpaste tubes do the same. And finally, existing products are uninspiring. So behavior in this category is driven by inertia and guilt. No one really, or I shouldn't say no one, but most people don't really enjoy going to the store and buying these products. And then when you actually get them home, for most people, the only reason you actually brush is guilt. You'd feel bad if you didn't. And so this is also evidenced by the fact that people don't actually brush for the full dentist's recommended 2 minutes. They actually brush for about 43 seconds. So the good news is we're changing all of this. From Earth offers consumers a suite of simple, effective, and elegantly designed products that are built with both consumers and the environment in mind. Now, our products are 100% natural, meaning you're kind of taken care of with respect to your long-term health. But more importantly, you know where your products are coming from and what you're putting in your mouth, and you know that you're safe for yourself and for your loved ones. Our products are also 100% eco-friendly, so we use only sustainable and 100% biodegradable materials in both our products and our packaging, and we employ sustainable manufacturing processes. And finally, we enrich the lives of both our customers and of society. So for one, gone are the days where you have to go to the store and purchase your oral care products, because we deliver them directly to your doorstep at your desired frequency intervals. On top of that, we do a number of really cool things that kind of reinvigorate the category. So let me just give you an example of a couple of them. So we send you this really cool box every 3 months. It's completely well-designed and completely biodegradable. You open it up, you rip the tag off your toothbrush. Well, it's actually made of seed paper. So you can plant that, whether in your backyard or in your urban garden for a number of our customers. And it actually grows into flowers, or you can grow herbs to use in your cooking. We also create, from the byproducts of our manufacturing process, wooden postcards. so you can actually share your fun experience with your friends and your family. We bundle 2-minute iTunes downloads through partnerships with sustainably oriented artists to encourage you to brush for the full dentist-recommended 2 minutes in kind of a fun and interesting way. And in terms of positive impacts on society, we donate a portion of profits to providing oral care products for individuals whose lives are negatively affected by lack of access to those products. So now I'd like to introduce you to something. Meet the natural toothbrush. Elegantly designed, simple, functional. The handle is crafted from the finest FSC certified sustainable American hardwoods, and it's actually finished with a natural beeswax and mineral oil protectant layer to keep it lasting and to keep it new for a long time. In terms of our bristles, they're actually the first bristles to be 100% plant-based. So currently the best solutions out there are either boar hair bristles, which kind of aren't that great for the vegan crowd, or vegetable nylon, which is great. It's better than traditional synthetic nylon, but we have a better solution. It's using the Salvador persica tree extracts to create bristles. It's a game-changing kind of innovation for this market, and it's something that we're working on patenting right now. Last thing, the head is actually replaceable and 100% biodegradable. So you shouldn't have to throw out your toothbrush every 3 months. You just take off the head, toss it in the backyard or in the compost bin, and send it back to Earth. Now, our product is recommended by holistic dentists. It's 100% vegan and cruelty-free. Now, I'd like to introduce you to someone. Meet Natural Nora. Nora's vegan, shops at Whole Foods, buys organic produce, and uses organic skincare products. And she's our target consumer. And Nora will love us because she believes in who we are, well-intentioned and committed to increasing the usage of products that are mutually beneficial to people and planet. And of course, she'll love our products because they're organic, chemical-free, and have a positive impact on the world. So let's talk about competition for a moment. We think of competition in terms of market leaders and innovators. Now, the market leaders are the guys that you see on the shelves every time you go to the store. You've got Crescent Oral-B, owned by P&G, Colgate, owned by the Colgate-Palmolive Group, Sensodyne's owned by GSK, and you even have Johnson & Johnson with Listerine and Reach floss brands. Now, these guys are great, and they create products for the mass market. And like traditional mature industries, the name of the game is distribution. So you can find them in every grocery store, supermarket, or drugstore. But they actually can't cater to the niche markets as well as the innovators, because they run the risk of alienating a larger consumer base. And given the current state of the natural oral care market, it's not big enough for them to make a serious move. So the folks that you have filling that gap are the innovators. Now, most of you are probably familiar with Tom's of Maine. They had a lot of momentum going into 2005, prior to acquisition by the Colgate-Palmolive Group. However, they've kind of since been left to dwindle. Radius is actually a really cool brand. So what we did when looking at the competition is we actually purchased one of every product on the market. I tested them myself, and we tested them with a number of consumers in San Francisco and Philadelphia. And we believe that Radius is actually the best solution currently on the market with the most compelling value proposition for the natural conscious consumer. However, they do the replaceable head, but it's all plastic, and the bristles are all synthetic. So we feel we have a more compelling proposition there. Preserve is also doing some really cool things. So they make their toothbrush out of recycled yogurt containers. But again, the product's 100% plastic, and the bristles are 100% synthetic. And these are the three that you'll find on the shelves of Whole Foods around the country. Hello is another one that I wanted to tell you guys about. So Hello Products, their product was designed by BMW DesignWorks, and it's kind of like an egg-shaped toothpaste with really cool different flavors of toothpaste, like mint chocolate chip, and they use all natural ingredients. They've employed a similar strategy to ours, and they're currently now distributed in over 30,000 retail locations worldwide. So how big is this market? Well, currently there are 200 million manual toothbrush users above the age of 18 in the United States. And of these 200 million, 20% derive a higher utility from natural products. These are natural conscious consumers, and they represent the target market. Now, we've taken a deep look at this market, and we've sub-segmented the natural conscious consumers, and we found that of the 40 million, 6 million derive a significantly higher utility from these natural products. These are the types of folks who are going out and actively seeking to replace the products they're currently using with natural solutions. These are our early adopters. So how does it work? Well, customers can purchase toothbrushes and replacement heads directly from our website and at select retail locations. Assuming a customer stays with us for a full year, that's $25 in annual spend, which means a total annual revenue potential of $150 million for the toothbrush alone. In terms of our plans, we're projecting that we can generate $10 million in revenue by the end of our third year and generate $1.5 million in earnings. So we're talking about capturing 1/3 of 1% of the market. So just wanted to kind of drive home the point that it is a huge market. This is where we plan to start, but we intend to expand from here. In terms of traction, we have performed validation, collected feedback, and refined our solution at every step along the way. So we did a concept test like the way a traditional CPG company would do with a panel of 500 consumers. And of our target market, 17% that said that they will definitely purchase our product. We've also done ad testing on Facebook and achieved a significantly higher click-through rate than the industry average, demonstrating our ability to target our consumers. And finally, we've shared our working prototype with natural retailers in the US and in Europe, and each and every one has expressed a desire to carry our products immediately. So that said, we are launching this June via Kickstarter. We're looking to raise $50,000 to $100,000 on Kickstarter and deliver our products in July, and then work towards a full launch for the holiday season of this year. At launch, customers will be able to purchase toothbrushes and replacement heads, along with a subscription service that delivers organic toothpaste and mouthwash directly to your doorstep at dentist-prescribed 3-month intervals for just $5 a month. Our launch will be supported by a neighborhood awareness strategy wherein we target multi-channel distribution in neighborhoods with high densities of self-selected natural enthusiast customers. We're targeting the Mission District, San Francisco, and Williamsburg, Brooklyn. And we already have warm leads. We've visited the sites and talked with the retail shops that will showroom our products. We're also looking to target select Whole Foods locations on the East and West Coast, initially with the eventual goal of broader dissemination within the channel. So let me talk briefly about our team. You've heard about Priyanka. She worked at PepsiCo, was brand manager for Cheetos, and also innovation manager. And we also worked together at McKinsey. At From Earth, Priyanka is responsible for marketing strategy. I'm responsible for product design and operations. And as I said, I advised the Marine Corps in Afghanistan and also worked at a private equity firm focused on frontier markets. In that capacity, I set up an incubator in Western Afghanistan that was sponsored by Google and IBM. And I also helped raise more than $20 million for Afghan entrepreneurs looking to grow their businesses. At the beginning of this year, we also brought on Emily Newkirk from Bain & Company. She's also a second-year Wharton MBA. And we're excited for the creativity she brings in terms of brand strategy and creative direction. We're lucky to be working with some amazing partners. We have a number of professors from the Wharton marketing department that are working with us, one of whom has helped 2 similar businesses raise more than $400 million in capital. We have a professional design team, a full legal team, and we're supported and funded by the Wharton Innovation Fund. Finally, we have a partnership with Penn Design. We have access to their 3D printing and fabrication facility, which we use in our iterative design process. And we're also excited to announce that we've recently brought on board a holistic dentist and are working on a partnership with the Penn Dental School. So we have the team that can make this happen. If you believe in our vision and our team, then join us in changing the world, one smile at a time. Thank you.
Do you have a prototype of this on hand that we can see?
We do. I've told this story to a number of people here. I actually left the prototype when I was getting on my flight at 4 a.m. from Philadelphia to come here yesterday, and I almost cried. But we do have the prototype, which we've shared, and I have pictures on my phone if you'd like to see them. But yeah, we have a working prototype. It's gorgeous, and everyone loves it. You'll just have to take my word for that.
Where's your other founder?
Priyanka is currently living just outside of Paris.
Yeah.
She's on an exchange with INSEAD. So unfortunately for everyone, because you had to put up with me, she couldn't be here.
Is anything patented?
Not yet. We're working on, so the 2 things that are patentable, well, 3 things, are 1 are the commercial application of Salvador Persica fibers for use as toothbrush bristles. 2 is the way that they connect to the head. And 3 is the mechanism for connecting the cartridge to the handle.
But if you had a patent agent go through and see if there's anybody in the field who's already registered a patent?
We have not. So we have $10,000 in legal services that we're using right now to do exactly what you just mentioned.
Who and where will this be manufactured?
Yeah, so this will be manufactured in just outside of Philadelphia in a manufacturing facility. Our materials are FSC certified sustainable hardwoods, and the bamboo is sourced from FSC lumber yards in Pennsylvania. And the Salvadora persica bristles come from South Asia, but there's actually a US-based distributor that can distribute that to us at a low cost.
So I don't understand, like, the pricing, subscription, retail combo.
Okay.
Right? So $5 a month, that's everything, it seems? It's unclear to me.
Yeah, I think we could have done a better job of explaining this. So the toothbrush will retail for $10, and
Yeah.
then your replacement heads will be $5. We're also going to be launching toothpaste and mouthwash. A 3-month toothpaste supply is also $5, and a 3-month mouthwash supply is $5. So you get a package from us every 3 months with a replacement head, a toothpaste, and a mouthwash. That's $15 every 3 months. If you break it out monthly, it comes out to $5 a month.
So sign me up, because I live in Manhattan, so I
All right.
spend $15 for one toothbrush, right? So I think you're leaving money on the table. I think you've underpriced it to the point where, as a consumer, it makes me question. Like, why is this so cheap?
I really like you right now, because most people say that it's too expensive and that it couldn't possibly work because it's too expensive. But I don't know how often you make it out to Williamsburg, but we'll definitely be there, or you can buy us on Kickstarter in June.
Yeah, I'll buy one of the Kickstarter ones. The other thing is, if you're going to do like field level and you want Whole Foods as a partner, you should do a trial in Austin, Texas, where they're headquartered, and get everybody in Austin talking about this. It'll make your long-term strategy a lot faster.
Totally, agreed.
There's some people from Austin that can help you with that.
Awesome. Yeah, so after Mission and in Williamsburg, we want to go to Portland, Austin, and Los Angeles.
I have another money story, but I'll let the boys go, and then I'll ask it next.
Who is, do you have any letters of support from like Whole Foods, or like how you don't just walk in there and put your product on the shelf? They have to, I mean, they take some responsibility for helping you sell it too. I mean, there's
Right.
something in it for them, and they don't just take any product. So what stage are you at when discussions with them?
Yeah, so we have folks who have worked with them in the past. We haven't actually reached out yet, but the way it's going to work, our Whole Foods relationship, it's going to be $1,500 a month per consumer facing per location.
Yeah.
So we're targeting 10 locations and 1 to 2 facings in each location.
So you probably shouldn't say in your thing that you're going to be putting them in Whole Foods if you haven't got, you know, the terms
Fair enough.
settled. You shouldn't do that.
Okay.
Where do you get your shipping costs from? If you're producing them in Philly and then shipping them to San Francisco, which is about as far as you can probably get, until you get like economies of scale,
True. Yeah.
can you make, if you're charging $5 every 3 months, to me, it probably costs that much to ship something.
Yeah, so the way we've thought about costs is we've just looked at comparables, looked at the margin structure of existing businesses, and then we've discounted ourselves based on areas in which we'd have additional costs. So small batch manufacturing, hand finishing, and these sort of things. So right now, the estimate we have for shipping is just $3 for the toothbrush unit, and that's basically as far as we've gone. But I mean, you can imagine, one, we could ship from a distribution facility in Pennsylvania, or if there's expected to be demand on the West Coast, we can set up, and there's a number of startups that'll let you set up distribution facilities really cheaply in the West Coast or in other parts of the country as well.
A big part of your long-term revenues are going to come from the mouthwash and the toothpaste. You haven't really talked about those at all, or what the ingredients are and why we'd want to buy those versus Colgate. Can you expand on that a bit, of where you are with that?
Yeah, so the toothpaste and mouthwash products are in early stages of development, and we've really accelerated to get the toothbrush to market. So we plan to, after delivering our toothbrushes, accelerate development on those. But it's going to be a similar thing. So we're going to leverage the Salvadora persica extracts to create a compelling toothpaste and mouthwash product for our consumers. And we'll have established that relationship of trust, but also the distribution asset with those customers. So we feel we'll be well positioned to provide them with those products, which are actually a bit more widely available on the market. There's relatively good solutions for toothpaste and mouthwash right now, not for toothbrush, and that's where we're starting. We've done a whole shelf space analysis, which I can show you if you'd like.
You'll have to change your shipping cost when you add your mouthwash.
Yeah, no, we definitely will. So the idea with the mouthwash is that we'll initially sell you, just like you trial the toothbrush, you'll trial the mouthwash. It'll come in glass, and the glass will be repurposable as a toothbrush holder. And then in the package that we send you, we'll actually send you, it'll be in a different material that you'll kind of rip off and pour back into one of the bottles that you've purchased.
So what do you do with the people who love your toothbrush but love their toothpaste, their own toothpaste, like Sensodyne? What are you selling them? You're selling the toothbrush once a year? The replacement heads and that?
Yeah, exactly. So the subscription service, it's kind of just an option. It's more of it's not like that critical to our business model. It's more of just a delivery option. So just like other folks who've done this, like Harry's, for example, they have a suggested package for the light shaver and the medium shaver and the hardcore shaver, but you can construct your own custom frequency intervals that suit your needs. And then you can bring down the shipping costs as well if that's a concern. You can buy in bulk.
I like how you segmented your market, and you talked about getting to 1/3 or 1% of natural Nora and her friends. Did you go further in terms of projecting? Those are the early adopters. At what point will they become? Will the mainstream come on board? Have you done those types of projections?
We have, right? So like traditional marketers, we're targeting that specific segment of customers for which the distribution channel works and for whom our value proposition is highest. And then we look to expand to a larger chunk. So that's the natural enthusiasts. You have natural moderates, and then you actually have kind of regular natural Noras. We expand that way first. Then we expand to the price-sensitive but eco-conscious segment. And it makes sense because at that point our volumes will have increased to a point where we can actually sell the toothbrush for significantly less or make more profit. And we would then have the distribution asset also to kind of target those customers. That's the plan. And then the frugal frank segment, if you saw, is about 55% of the market, and there's not a plan to target those guys specifically. Like our messaging is targeted specifically to our group of consumers, but we've gotten the question, and there could potentially be spillover effects. Other companies have done the same and have seen a segment of older gentlemen that just happen to like their products, and they're based in mainland United States.
I don't understand your fundraising choice. So 10,000 gets you through phase 1. You need 100,000 to get through phase 2. So you've put yourself right in limbo at 30,000. So why 30,000 as a raise? Where are you in the milestones?
Sorry. 30,000 can get us through the pre-launch phase
Yeah.
and the non-product and technical related aspects of the launch. So what we would want to do with that money is work on the patents, as David mentioned, or as Robert mentioned, and also work on the testing to get ADA approval. So it's not that hard. It's just a pay-to-play type system, but you actually have to get some kind of a accredited or kind of organization to do that, and we're planning to do that with Penn Dental, but it does cost money to get those tests done. So we
Yes.
can.
So the problem is you've left me as an investor, like you're not in a tactile state. You're like in between, right? You're just kind of like pre-FDA approval, like the other guys, right? So my money is just sitting there, and then I have to like stay worried. If you took a little bit more, you could get to the next stage, or if you took a little bit less, you could give me something, and then I could invest in the next round. But you've put me right in the worst place as an investor.
If you'd like to invest more, we're completely receptive.
As
Here,
long as I
anytime.
get a bigger part.
In your presentation, you referred to Tom's of Maine and how they were an innovator and then they got bought out and then they've been in decline. Why did they go into decline?
So as I alluded to before, I think Colgate is not in a position to alienate their large existing customer base from which they're making billions of dollars every year. So it really doesn't make sense to shift and accelerate too much on Tom's of Maine, which is exactly what happened.
So maybe they bought them out to.
Definitely they
Yeah.
did. Yeah, and that happens.
The other question I had is you referred to a holistic dentist, and it's the first time I've ever heard that term.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering if you could address that. And secondly, have you talked to other dentists or dental schools about this?
Yeah. So I love the first question. Let me just address the second one real quick. So yeah, we've talked to dentists in Chicago and in Philadelphia, and we've shown our product to the Penn Dental School. In terms of the Holistic Dentistry Network, so we brought on this dentist. Holistic dentistry certification is a real thing. You can get certified as a holistic dentist. It's based out of California, but it's growing rapidly right now. And just in thinking about how the relationship works between toothbrush manufacturers and dentists, it's kind of like drug reps, right? So there can be more formal versions, but in a nutshell, that's kind of how it works. So the holistic dentists actually have an extremely compelling rationale to take our product and give it to their customers because it's more compelling for them. So we're super excited about the Holistic Dentistry Network, and it's one of the first things we intend to do to support our launch.
So my thesis on Tom's of Maine is naturalists don't like when the capitalists buy them, so we stop buying the product. Do you have anything on the health benefits or the health consequences? Do you have any math or data or science that says there's some value to this approach beyond my propensity towards natural products?
Yeah, so Colgate and Oral-B have taken some flack for this recently. There's some research out there. It's probably not as well established as you would like it to be, but there's definitely research out there that says using plastic erodes your enamel at a quicker rate. And also that there's a lot of research on fluoride and how detrimental it can be as well. But I think we'd really love to do a high-frequency study at Penn Dental School and really test our product versus another market-leading product and see what the actual results are there.
See, I'd go mummy bloggers with kids is what I'd do.
Yeah,
Forget Whole Foods and like you're just going to get bungeed up there. But if you want to go direct to consumer with something new and something that's got a life cycle, go the health approach.
totally. We actually have a children's model that we've designed with our design partners, and people seem to be really excited about it. We found that the switch that goes off in folks' minds at some point to where they start thinking consciously about these things oftentimes is the day that you find out you're pregnant. And that's kind of really awesome if we can be a part of that and if we can help provide you solutions that you feel are better for your children.
Yeah, well, I hope I don't wake up that day, but children just suck toothpaste and suck the toothbrush, right? They don't actually brush. So, give them something that's healthy would be,
Totally.
my approach.
Yeah, we have a really cool chart actually for the penetration of natural products across categories. And we've really studied the consumer and internalized their thought process. But it's exactly as you would expect. So the ingestibles are the most highly penetrated. You flirt with the category, whether it's a life event or because of your parents or when you get out of school. And if you like what you see, then you try other products, so hence the declining penetration. One thing the point that I wanted to make was that we feel oral care has a compelling rationale for being further penetrated and closer to food and beverage because, particularly for children, because you do actually ingest you ingest bristle particles, you ingest toothpaste, and sometimes plastic particles as well.
I think your product's great, and I think your go-to-market is way off. And you've never smiled once, and you're in the smile business. It's really interesting.
You got him to smile.
Just at the end.
I feel like there's a potential great partnership there. So we could really leverage some of what you bring to the table.
I think that's all our questions.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, and thanks to Stu and Amy for putting everything on. Appreciate it.